Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to office hours, or good afternoon, or good evening. Heck, wherever you are, who knows? Welcome to office hours. We will get rolling here in just one moment. If you have questions, please feel free to go ahead and type them in. That's the way this call works. It is open Q&A. So I have no agenda for you other than I'm going to give you a brief update on the event I just got back from. But otherwise, no agenda other than answering your questions. So if you have any questions, you can feel free to type them in. John Randall, I see you already got one in there. Thank you so much. And then if anybody needs to come on the screen to actually have a conversation, if your question is too long, too involved, needs discussion, things like that, then I can get you on camera here in a few, and we can do that as well. Just let me know in the comments that you'd like to come on camera, and we will get that all sorted out, okay? I hope everybody is doing well. Let's see here. John Randall says, good morning. Good morning, John. Signed up for the Postcard and got one for now. Awesome. My sense as to reselling it would be to wait until I sign up for high level, so it's integrated from the start. Your thoughts? John, I think either one is, either direction that you want to go there is actually totally fine. The integration with high level may not be as automated as you hope for in the beginning anyway. So whether or not you're gonna have some sort of direct integration with high level, I wouldn't necessarily count on that right out of the gate. You could do spreadsheets, you can do Zapier, I think webhooks, that type of stuff. So I just haven't played with it yet. I don't know exactly how tight that integration is, but I would also say that one of the cool things about those postcards is they actually have a little landing page builder, a little site builder. They have some automated follow-up that you can do through their system. So if you were, looking to be able to take advantage of some of those features even before you signed up with high level, you could with those postcards. So I like it as I think that there's some very simple foot in the door things that you could do without having to set up a customer account in high level yet. So if you wanted to have like a really easy, inexpensive foot in the door and say, hey, look, you get the card, you get this landing page set up, it's got your profile, and it's got, a couple of these automated campaigns set up. You could do that just through the postcards. And then if you wanted to, then upsell those customers into, hey, we can do a lot more campaigns for you, a lot more sophistication to get better results, then that could be the upsell into, then you're creating a high level account for them. So it's one of the things that I really like about it. If you are selling somebody and you are having to set up high level and getting them into high level to get to be able to provide some benefit to them, that's just a more complex sale. It's going to be a little bit more involved. It's a little more complex on the service side, versus with the postcards, you could literally just set up something that you could start delivering value with really, really quickly. So I am personally indifferent to, whichever way you decide to go with that. But I just want to make sure you got the full scoop there. Okay. Hey, welcome everybody. Look at this. We got a good crew here. Welcome, Mr. Robert Brennan. Heyday, absolutely. I'll get you that link. Hey, what's up? Very good. Good to see you. Awesome. Welcome, Scott. Man, that was so much fun, wasn't it? Mike Chapman, good to see you, sir. David Cartwright, absolutely. Yes, what is up? How are you? We got some level uppers that were here. Yeah, I am back home. In, hey, what's up, Tim? I am back. Man, Tim, we missed you at that event, and I know you had a good reason for not being there, but I'm going to tell you, you had better be at the next one. That was a remarkable event. I just put in the link. Hey, what's up, Elena? Good to see you. New York City says hello. Hello, New York City. I love me some New York City. I need to get back. What's up, Glenn? Good to see you, sir. Let's see here. So I just put in the link, okay, to join on camera. If you want to join on camera, I know we got a couple of people that already said they want to. So absolutely feel free to do so. And let me just go back in order here. Sean, I will absolutely get to your question. Oh, and actually, let me go ahead and answer this one since it's related to Postcard. So how should I set up support with Postcards? Then we change our offer for a new event. What I would do is, I mean, one, you can give them access to be able to do that themselves. So you can give them like login access to do it. If you want to manage that support though, I would just have like a help desk ticketing system and just tell them that, to submit a ticket if they have change requests. And then you can log in and do that. So I don't know, Sean, if you're in like the Postcard system at all yet. And I've only been able to play with it a little bit. I was bummed because I was hoping to get my card before I went to Level Up Summit. And I came home from Level Up Summit and there they were in the mail. They got to me just after I left. So I've logged in though and started playing with, setting up my own profiles and stuff. So from my understanding, and again, I have not completely played with it, but I know what was shared with us on the event there is that you can log in, into the backend system, see all of your customer accounts. Okay, awesome. Sean says he's already got them and bought 5 cards. Awesome. So then you can log in and do the updates yourself through the system there. So I think it just depends on which approach you want to take. I don't think either is necessarily wrong. I personally think that the Postcard system is easy enough for them to use that I would probably give them just access and say, you can make your own changes, but if you have any problems, submit a ticket, that type of thing. So let's see here. Okay, Scott says, Mike, saw you at Level Up. You were awesome. Thank you, Scott. Can you expand on your thoughts to niche or not to niche? Yes, I certainly can. Okay, first of all, before I answer this question, let me just give a brief recap about the Level Up Summit and why I believe, and I stressed this before I went, that I believe that is the must-attend agency event of the year. I think that if you are serious about success in the agency business, one, I mean, there are certainly ways to be successful in the agency business without being on high level, right? So I'm not saying that you have to be on high level. Because let's say that your service is a video editing service. Okay, well, high level doesn't have anything to do with video editing. So you can certainly, have all kinds of agencies that are not using high level. That being said, if you are somebody who is trying to figure out how to offer, any of these kind of, my model of scalable services where you're combining some tools and you're combining some services to create a system for your customers, or you want to be in more of that SaaS business with your customers, I just don't know any good reason why you wouldn't be on high level. And I don't know any good reason why you would not be running your business on high level. I eat my own dog food. I am doing everything on high level. I can show you all of my business stuff on high level every single day. So I know it's pros. I know it's cons. I'm telling you at this point that the pros far outweigh the cons, and the things that are coming are just amazing. But back to this event, it was a phenomenal event. I mean, for a first-time event for a company, to do what they did was just mind-blowing. And I say that because the event itself was just so well done. It had great education, great entertainment, great networking, great food, open bars, really surprising entertainment stuff that was just really, really cool. So people just had a blast. I mean, I have literally no complaints about the event itself. Actually, the only complaint I have about the event itself is that there were, some sessions that were stacked on top of each other. So I couldn't make it to all the things that I wanted to. But that's pretty darn hard to avoid. The most important reason, though, for all of you to be there, I cannot stress how my experience was around this, but also I heard this from everybody at the event, is that the quality of the community there was just outstanding. And I knew that this was going to be the case. And I knew that this is why this is going to be the must-attend event of the year for agencies, because I saw this in the IT industry previously. When one software platform becomes the operating system of the industry, and you start getting people who are serious about the business, right? Who are making money and doing well. And that then community around that software platform becomes this common gathering place. And you can see it. I mean, High Level has just created this tribe in this industry that is amazing. And when you go to this event, not only is it, the bigger tribe that's involved with High Level, but it's the people who have elected to say, yeah, I'm going to spend some money, take time out of my schedule, all that stuff, and commit to going to this event. It's attracting a certain quality of people that you want to be a part of. Okay. The conversations that you have there, the relationships that you make there, the people that you meet, the inspiration that you get from seeing people that are doing things and doing it successfully just is irreplaceable. And I cannot stress that enough. When the next event comes around, I'm going to be hammering everybody in my community to get there, because I think that you will get as much benefit from those couple of days as you will get from, a year of, networking and trying to connect with people and all that type of stuff outside of that event. So I hope that you will take my word on it. I hope that you will be there at this next one. It was really, really fantastic. And to all the people that were there that I got to meet and shake hands with and stuff, I seriously came away from that event just like so grateful for my community of customers and being a part of the High Level community and being a part of their success. Like I felt just like overwhelmed a couple of times at how awesome that was. And so I hope to meet all of you there in person at this next one. Okay. So Scott says, can you expand on your thoughts to niche or not niche? Yes. So Scott, there's two kinds of niches. So when we say niches, I want to make sure that we're talking about two different kinds of niches clearly. So one is what I call an industry niche or a vertical niche, which is probably what you're most, what you hear about most. Like, right, I'm going to be the marketing system for dentists or chiropractors or restaurants, right? So industry vertical niche. And then there's what I call a functional niche. So let's just say, I have a service now. Many people have asked me about this and commented on this. I have a service now that I pay where all this service does is edit vertical videos, short form videos for Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, and TikTok. Okay, that's all they do. And I think that is a brilliant, brilliant service. It's a brilliant, it's a very scalable service that I expect that they'll, if he knows how to operate a business, he will be able to grow a very, very nice business with that. And that's all he does is edit vertical short form videos. Okay. So I believe that either of those routes are really, really, really good. I think that the functional niches are the ones that are most overlooked in our community right now. And so there's some massive opportunities. So I think the video editing, I think podcast editing, things like that are just really big opportunities that for whatever reason, most people are really focused on the industry focus, right? The industry niche focus. So either one of them can work. I just think that there's less competition right now in that functional focus. Now, whether or not to have a niche focus, I think in almost all cases, you have to have a niche focus. The reason why is that you are just, unless you're like backed with a whole ton of money, you are just not going to have the resources to compete broadly. And this is a big mistake that people make because they actually think opposite. They think, no, I have to be open to every type of business that will come and spend money with me because I can't afford not to. But it's the exact opposite. When you are open to everybody coming and spending money with you, and you don't have the ability to say no, and you don't have the focus of realizing that if I take anything that comes at me, there's no way I'm going to have good profitability or efficiency or scalability because I'm doing different things all the time for different types of businesses. You're just going to be a mess. You're going to end up in this awful treadmill, which most people get in, where, yeah, I'm getting paid and I got 7 clients and now I'm completely overwhelmed. And the reality is I have like 7 different bosses, and I can't get past those 7 because I have no time left to do anything anymore. And I'm constantly doing this scrambling, customized service thing. You can't do that, right? You're never going to get ahead. So to break that cycle, it is focusing on what are the specific set of services that I can deliver to a specific customer avatar, right? And so that specific customer avatar could be on that functional niche, right? It's people who need short form vertical video. And in that case, you could go across a variety of different industries, right? Or it can be, you know, the dentist, the single practice dentist, right? And that's my avatar. But that way you can get really specialized in what it is that you're offering them and how to deliver it and how to deliver it profitably with scalability. And you can get very, very specialized in your communication to them, right? So being successful in this business, in the agency or marketing services business that we're talking about here, is really about two factors. And this could be said, you know, broadly about just about any business, but it's really about how do you acquire customers and what are the cost of acquiring those customers. And it's about how do you keep customers and keep them at least a year. I'm telling you that is, you got to have recurring revenue from a customer for at least a year to start turning the corner on real profitability and scalability at your business. So two major factors for success, right? In this industry, in this agency industry world. How do I acquire customers? How do I do that as quickly and efficiently and affordably as I can? And how do I keep customers for at least 12 months of recurring revenue? Those are the two variables that you really have to focus on. If you are not focused in terms of your specific service delivery, your specific customer satisfaction and customer success, you know, processes and benchmarks, and you don't have that laser focused sales and marketing to go after a particular niche, it's going to be very, very hard to reach those milestones or to optimize those two milestones that we discussed. So you really, really do have to pick a niche. And again, it can be an industry vertical, it could be a functional niche. And then you may be saying, well, hey, Mike, you're running their San Diego, and their San Diego isn't focused on either of those really, right? And that is a fair argument to make, but my business is a media business first, okay? It is not an agency business first. It is a media business, okay? The marketing service that I have decided to offer is advertising. And advertising, when you own a media property, is a very, very, very scalable, high margin service. And that's why the media business can pull that off by being, you know, more broadly available to all types of businesses to advertise through it, because it's my cost of delivering my service is almost nothing, right? So, and it doesn't matter to me if a lawyer wants to advertise or a car dealer or anybody else. The process of putting the ad up on my site is exactly the same. So I hope that makes sense to you, and I hope that answers your question. And let me know if you have any follow-up to that, okay? All right, let's see here. Juana, I got you. You ready? All right. How are you?
I'm great. How you doing today?
I'm awesome. Thank you. How can I help?
Thank you. So I am duplicating your process with the newsletter, and I
Mm-hmm.
got the last week. So I'm trying to figure out what are the plugins that you have with this theme. I actually sent in a support ticket with these questions, but I haven't gotten a response yet. But
Oh,
quickly, do you?
I'm sorry. I closed that because you got a response in our group, and so I thought you saw that. One of our community members told you what it was and showed you how to get that. I'll get it back to you. It's actually, you asked it originally in Circle though, and there's an answer in there to your post.
Yeah, I got that.
Oh,
But
okay.
what I'm trying to figure out is, are you using WP Bakery page? It comes with it, but you have to purchase it.
I do
It
not
comes
think so. I don't,
as build the site.
I don't think so.
Okay, all right. And then the theme, it also has a store set up. And so how are you using that as well?
No.
Okay. So what are you using to build the site?
I could not tell you. I couldn't tell you. I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't know any of that stuff. And when you say to build the site, I mean, let me just make sure I understand. I mean, it's WordPress. It's on, you know, it's on. I mean, it's on WordPress hosting. Like when you the content comes from, you know, my team and I just putting content in there. But like, what do you mean to build it?
So as a page builder.
Oh, we are using, I think, what is it? Is it Elemental? Is that right? Does that make sense? Is that a thing? I think that's it.
Yeah, that's okay. Okay. Yeah. So do you think that somebody in support would know better? Because these are the types of questions that I asked in my last ticket. So they were specific, not just plugins. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Go ahead. Yeah. Resubmit it, or I can, or just find, if you just find your last email and just respond to it, it'll open it back up.
Okay. I'll do that. All right. And then is there anybody there that kind of knows how you set this stuff up? I mean, I know somebody did it, you know, for you. Because I'm just also trying to find out, like, you have a pop-up there for the opt-in, and I'm not sure which one you use for that.
ConvertBox. I use ConvertBox for everything for opt-ins.
Okay. All right. I'm going to resubmit this ticket.
Cool.
And then I think they'll be able to answer the other questions.
Okay. Awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate your help. Thanks so much, Mike.
Okay, you bet. I'm sorry I'm not more technical. I can't help with some of this.
I'm on here because I'm not technical, and I'm asking the questions that the guys that's helping me ask.
Oh, got it. Yeah. Awesome.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate you.
You bet.
All right.
Timothy Miller, my friend. How are you, sir?
Good friend.
Hey.
How are you, Mr. Cooch?
I'm great. How are you?
Yeah, it was great meeting you last week. Thanks again for everything you do.
It absolutely was.
Yeah, so I don't want to.
Pleasure.
I don't want to monopolize here, but I have one question with 4 parts. It was 3.
Okay, go for
it. These are just really quick answers. I'm running into, so I have a customer I don't do design or ad management or any of that stuff. I'm just straight SaaS. And I've run into a customer that has a marketing provider who is also pushing high level. They just didn't push it hard enough. You know what I mean? So now we're kind of like competing interests. I'm just wondering what your recommendation is to deal with that.
I don't know. I guess have a direct conversation and or you know, and or go separate ways. I don't know.
All right.
You know, that's, I mean, I think those are probably the only 2 good ways to handle that, something like that.
Yeah. So setting up ads to promote our company. What's to do that? I mean, there's
hey, Timothy.
Ad Espresso. There's Facebook Business Manager.
Hey, Timothy. Unfortunately, there's a real bad delay on your end. It's like super choppy, so I'm only getting every other word.
All right, I'm going to put this down in the comment.
Okay, sorry about that.
You see that?
Let's see here. I'm sure it'll come in. There's probably a little bit of delay on getting the comment coming in. It'll come in a moment here. Yeah, Elementor. Yeah, thank you. Elementor, not elemental, what I said. And let's see here. Yeah, it does crash. So, and I can't remember if we still use Elementor, honestly, because I remember not liking it. And I want to say that we just switched to some new themes where I no longer have to use Elementor, and I like that much better. But like I said, obviously, very clearly, I don't know anything about this WordPress stuff. Timothy, I don't see. Keep on typing and submitting. I'm gonna answer some other questions just while I'm waiting for those to show up. Stay here though. I'll be back with you in just a moment. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, hold on. Santiago. Okay. Santiago says, what's up, Mike? I'm 20 years old and I completely know how to use Go High Level. I would like to offer SaaS SMS marketing for restaurants, bars, and coffee shops. I'm thinking to charge $350 per month. What's your opinion? Yeah, I think that sounds good, Santiago. I mean, that's definitely a market that, can use those services for sure. Should be using those services much more than they are in most cases. So I think it's a great market. I like that price point. I think that you can experiment with price points. You may want to have something a little bit lower as a foot in the door for as a possibility. The cool thing with Go High Level and with the way that you can set up like the SaaS, you can rebill based on usage. So you might even try a lower price point just to get them in there. And then, that includes X, minutes and X messages. And then after that, they get billed, based on usage. So that way they can just kind of scale up from there. I also think, don't just make it 100% about the SMS itself, because that's a commodity. There's all kinds of SMS providers out there. So since you're going to focus on restaurants, bars, and coffee shops, the kinds of things that they need. So I would make sure and bake in like that you have some specific campaigns and strategies, maybe include some landing pages that provide some good slick like entry points, so like a VIP club, birthday club, anniversary club, whatever it is, some coupon funnels, something like that you could set up and have like these 4 different capture points for them to get people into their list as easily as possible. Again, just because, the SMS on its own is definitely just a commodity. Okay. So I hope that helps you. Oh, Tom, FOMO, man. Jeez, you should have been there too. I know it. Let's see here. I have high level using Pulse for digital business cards. It's cool. They can do more, but it seems better to keep the funnels high level to get customers in the high level system. Yeah. I mean, I definitely think, look, ultimately, if you're on the high level platform and you're using that as like the core part of your service offering, ideally, yes, you want to get them over into high level. But is there a case for, I'm going to offer some sort of super simple foot in the door service that may not involve getting them in high level yet, but it gets me a customer, it gets the relationship. Now I can go and sell that relationship, and upsell them on additional services. That may be a strategy you want to take advantage of as well. Let's see here. Matt Coffee, ideally would agree with you, but working on your business is so much more important for single unit agencies trying to make it. Sales is what you need, not rah-rah sessions. Yeah. Hey, Matt, totally. I mean, one man's opinion here and you got your opinion and that's all good. So do your thing. I would say there was not a lot of rah-rah sessions about this thing though. It was not, it was business. So let's see here. Mathis and Marketing, what's up, my man? It says mirroring their San Diego project. Got 4K local customers on my email list. Awesome. From capture forms. Good. Other ideas to build the list. Charge biz 40 per 1,000 to advertise. Anything in Information Alchemy on this? Nothing in Information Alchemy. This is all in Local Media Launch Accelerator. In terms of build the list, giveaways is what I've always done. I mean, and of course, you want to have the pop-up on your site when people come and visit and all that good stuff. But giveaways have really been fantastic for building the list. So those are my 2 core strategies. I got some other stuff coming that I'll share with you here real soon, but those are my 2 core strategies. Charge the business 40 per 1,000 to advertise. I like that number. I mean, if they were advertising on Facebook just very broadly, they'd be at probably somewhere between $5 and $7 per 1,000. And then of course, if they start getting, real targeted, that number could go up to, $100 and whatever dollars per 1,000. So you're somewhere in between there. I think it's possible if you are working with a bigger advertiser, like somebody who actually does paid advertising, you may have to explain and justify why that number is what that number is. But if you're working with small businesses, they don't know a thing about cost per 1,000 advertising rates. So I would definitely not present it that way. I don't know if that, in a lot of advertising, they present the price based on cost per thousand. I do not present that way to my customers at all. I present it to them as it's, $497 for this ad campaign, and you get a guaranteed number of impressions, right? So they could, of course, do the math, but again, most small businesses are just, they're not even aware of that whole cost per thousand metric. It's just, what's the price I'm paying, and does that seem fair? It's $497 and I get 20,000 impressions. Sure, great. So, but I think that range is totally fine. And Stacy says you should hire someone on Fiverr. I think he's talking to Juana about building the site. I totally agree with that, Juana, unless there's a reason that you want to know all this stuff. Although it sounds like she did hire somebody and they're just asking questions. Although, Juana, I got to say, whoever's helping you with this stuff should be able to figure all this stuff out on their own if they're good. It makes me suspicious of who's helping you. So let's see. Cool. Luis says, why Postcard versus having a QR code that will send people to a Linktree page? Luis, the big thing to me, I don't have my Postcards with me. They're on my kitchen counter, but the big thing to me that I think is a real advantage of these things over QR codes, and QR codes are pretty darn good. So I like QR codes. But with Postcard, you can have QR codes, you can have a link, you can have whatever. But to me, I think that there's a real advantage in actually having a physical card. And that physical card can just be held up to somebody's phone and boom, you're off to the races, right? Just because of the ease of it, there's no clumsiness about it, right? There are still people that, if it's like, hey, yeah, scan my QR code, and they're like, what do I do with my phone, whatever, versus just take the card out and just, hold it up to the phone. There's just a real ease to that I think is very valuable. I mean, for the price that you're paying versus, getting regular business cards, you'd be paying the same amount of money for regular business cards anyway, right? So that I think is a very, very powerful slippery slope, right? It makes it easy for people to get going. But again, use QR codes, use links, use everything that you can. But if I'm out networking, I'm out meeting people, that type of thing, and I can just get out the card and tap it to their phone versus having to scan QR codes and stuff, I just think that there is something real beneficial to that. Okay. Awesome. Thank you, Santiago. Very cool. Tim says we're running a pumpkin contest and giveaway right now. Over 225 votes already. That's awesome, man. I love it. Sean says, last question for me about Postcard. What other services would you say is an easy upsell through high level? Text follow-ups? Yes. Any of those? Yeah. Any of those. I think that the Postcards very naturally tie to like anything related to follow-up, obviously, right? I mean, that's critical. But then anything that is follow-up related has all kinds of things, right? So having where do they go when they follow up? Do you get them booked on your calendar? Do you have an easy calendar booking service, right? Or you take them to an opt-in, to a lead magnet? Do you have those funnels set up? So any of that stuff, I just think it's a great foot in the door. Yeah, lots of people saying, what the heck is all this conversation about Postcards, Mike? What did you do that I haven't heard about? Let me, this was a little bit different thing. I haven't done anything kind of like Postcards, and I was like, okay, I'm going to share this with people who very clearly kind of see it and show an interest in it quickly. And then I didn't like promote the replay to everybody else under the sun or anything like that. But yeah, I just did a call with, and actually if you go to, it's still here. Actually, if you go to, let me just grab a link for you guys so you guys can go check it out still. If you go here, you should see it. I just put the link in the comments, and then also right there, labspecial.com/join live. I haven't updated that link yet. So you can go and check that out. Otherwise, if you are getting to this in a replay later on, any of that type of thing, you should go to right here. And let me get this link for you, which once I have updated these links in the campaign, you'll want to go to this one because that join live will be for something else. That join live is always for joining live if I'm doing any sort of live presentation. So livespecial.com/postcard. That will take you directly to, right now, it will take you directly to like the offer to sign up for Postcards. But in the future, that will take you to a replay of the presentation. Okay. And so what are Postcards? Postcards are just like, it's like a new version of a business card. And here's the deal. Like 8 years ago, I stopped carrying business cards. And why did I stop carrying business cards? Because to me, they're totally obnoxious. I hate the fact that I have to print them. I hate the fact that I have to bring stacks of them with me. I hated it when somebody gave me one that I then had to go and like manually enter information. All of it. I thought business cards were just annoying, but it's stupid because obviously I'm missing out on opportunities when I'm networking to get some people's contact information, so it's dumb not to have some sort of way of easily capturing information when you're networking and stuff like that. So what is the Postcard? Postcard is just a digital business card that's just been designed in a smart way. It's just a nice little black card. And all you have to do is tap it against somebody's phone. And when you tap it on their phone, the same functionality for like Apple Pay and stuff, it's going to pull up a thing that says, hey, Mike wants to share his contact information with you, right? They accept. And then it pulls up a little landing page that you've built with Postcard that actually has however you want to design it, right? And that landing page is pretty darn smart. NFC tags, love them. Yeah. So that landing page is smart. You can do anything you want with it. You can make it just like your personal little business card landing page, or you could make it a landing page with an opt-in for a lead magnet, or you could do whatever you wanted with it. But it pulls it up so that way it's easy. Then somebody can press a little button on that page. It'll drop your V card right into their contacts. It gives them an easy one press button to be able to send their contact information to you in a text. So now you're getting contacts added to phones. So that way, if you call them on their cell phone, it's going to pop up as somebody that they know. There's all kinds of benefits to it. So to me, it immediately makes sense for me because I will never carry around business cards. But if I have just one card that I can carry and I can go bloop, and that one card I can change up. So like, I'm going to an event next week and I can create a customized landing page for that event real quick. So that way, when I'm at the event and I'm out tapping around, it will take them to something that I've prepared specifically for that event, right? So I can have a specific offer, specific message, whatever I want to do. That's awesome. Sean says, made my first sale the first time I used it. Pretty incredible. That's cool. Yeah. So the whole thing behind these, and the reason why I shared this with my community is because I think it's an excellent foot in the door for so many people who are maybe just not. I mean, one, it solves the whole business card problem really well. Two, I think it's a really, really good foot in the door for anybody selling any sort of marketing services. For like, you're out at a busy networking event and you're not going to have time to do a full pitch or to demonstrate what you're doing or anything like that. You're not going to do that at a networking event. But if somebody says, well, tell me what you do, and say, hey, yeah, cool. The easiest way, if you don't mind, I'll just tap this, and you tap the card, and then you can have a little funnel set up that says, hey, it's Mike, here's what I do. I help businesses like yours generate leads. Here's how I do it. I design funnels and follow-up campaigns and all that type of stuff. And in fact, since you just tap the card, you now know one of the ways that, we teach businesses how to acquire new customers. This is just one of several strategies. If you hit this button or opt in here or whatever on this little landing page that you're on, you'll get one of our follow-up sequences. So you can see how we book people into appointments, so you can demonstrate your service when you wouldn't otherwise have the opportunity to demonstrate your service. And of course, you're getting the contacts from from doing the business card exchange that way as well. So I just think it's super slick. I got to tell you, if I had salespeople running around that I was paying salaries to be my salespeople, like I used to have tons of them, right? I would not let them leave the office without one of these cards, because salespeople screw up so much when it comes to networking, properly putting contacts into CRM, properly, getting people into your funnels. They are so variable. And this way you can almost remove all that variability by requiring them to carry a card and requiring when they meet people to use it. And the cool thing is that inside of Postcards, you've got a little system where you can actually see, are the people that you've assigned cards, are they using them? And you can turn on and off their access to them and stuff like that. So if a salesperson quits, you can turn off the access. So it's a pretty sweet system. Glenn, my man, you ready to come on board? Awesome. How are you, sir?
Am I live or Memorex? I don't even know. Good. First of all, welcome back. Glad
Thank you.
to hear a little bit about the show. Maybe next year, I hope to get there.
Yeah.
This year, I'm still fighting the CRM demons, but we're getting there. We're getting there. So here's what I'm running across, which is going to be unique and out of left field probably for you. But a little bit about my that I'm affiliated with a software company, right?
Mm-hmm.
So and what's happening is like my sales activity is really becoming kind of their sales activity, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I'm selling my software and their software.
Yep.
So where I'm really kind of scratching my head is more from a process standpoint. Like I find myself entering more stuff into their sub accounts inside High Level
Mm-hmm.
than inside my actual business sub account, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm kind of the credibility comes from my relationship with them, not pushing my own business. I don't have the credibility in the industry. They have 40 years of credibility in the industry. So I'm struggling with how to manage that. Like I want to have my own, I need to have my own stuff that if we ever, separate, that I have all the stuff. But the same token, I'm really prospecting, making calls, updating data and building content and everything really for them because I'm associated with that. Any advice on like how I could, how I should be thinking about this process and moving forward?
So let me understand, when they actually buy something, who are they buying from? Are they buying from you or from them?
Well, at the moment, they buy it from me. I'm billing the customer and doing all that. But, as we're moving forward, we're getting to the point where we're doing presentations. The presentations are coming from demo setups and things, appointments from what's happening on their side. Because they go to a trade show, they're fitting that bill.
Mm-hmm.
All the leads that are coming in, we're putting into their sub account. And then I'm following up from their sub account as a member of their team, right?
Yeah.
So that's the challenge. Is like I'm kind of struggling of how to really manage it. Should I merge it all and just do it all at once? How do I manage it separately? And I don't want to add contacts. It's like a pain in the butt to add a contact into their system and then go in and duplicate it. Now I could do Zapier and build some bridges.
Why are you adding it to their system instead of yours?
Because it's the same customer base. It's the same prospect base. Like the people that I would be on the phone prospecting to are the same people that they and their sales guys would be on the phone. And I am one of their sales guys prospecting to. But when I'm calling representing them, it's like, oh, okay, we'll talk to you. But if I call representing me, it's like, who are you?
Got it.
40 years in the business, right? So
but are you employed by them?
I'm theoretically a subcontractor, a contract agent, however you want, whatever you want. I look at it as a strategic alliance. But
so does your agency agreement give you like kind of like a lifetime commission type of thing, or how is that structured?
Yeah, I mean it's 5 years. It's actually as long as the customer stays a customer, but it's initially a 5-year period, provided the customer doesn't cancel. If they cancel, I lose the commission too, like they do.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, I guess it sounds like from a business model perspective, you're set just fine, right? So if you're putting stuff into their system and selling, then you're getting the credit for it, even though it's in their system. If you were then though saying, okay, but there is a relationship outside of that specific relationship that I want to have with those customers, then you want to have those in your own system as well to make sure that, you know, you have all the information that you need to be able to maintain that relationship just in case you ever go away.
Well, so here's here's an example that's kind of just recently popping up. So customers, as I'm talking to people, I'm giving the pitch of who I am, my relationship with the software company, it's my thing, and then I'm sending them an email that comes from One Customer Plus from my business, right? But if I send that email out of their sub account, which the domain is verified to be their business, I put One Customer Plus on it, it's like a spam thing going, this didn't come from the same organization.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. Right.
I think so. And I don't have an email address with their domain on it because I'm not an employee of their company.
Oh, that's weird. I mean, even as an agent, they should give you one.
I should just, okay. So that's part of this. So first thing I should do is just say, guys, just give me a damn email address on your domain.
Yeah. I mean, anytime I've had agents working for me, I set them up completely as if they're an employee. They're a member of my team. They get business cards, they get email addresses, they get phone numbers, all that stuff provided by, you know, my company.
Okay.
So they should do that. Otherwise, I mean, honestly, man, it just sounds like, I mean, the answer that you don't want to hear, which is you just got to jump through some administrative hoops. Like if you want the data in both places, then you got to put the data in both places, you know, and you can do that as efficiently as you can, but it just sounds like it just needs to be done.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
but the good news is, I think from a business model perspective, you've got things set up so that you're not in danger of like, oh, I'm getting hosed because I'm putting information into their account and then I'm not getting credit for it. It sounds like you're getting credit for the things that you should get credit for regardless.
I'm not worried about not getting paid or credit for what I'm supposed to. In fact, I'm the administrator of the whole GHL account, right? So I can turn them off tomorrow if I want to.
Okay.
I mean, but I mean, that's, it's just that, we're trying to keep a demarcation.
Yeah.
But figuring out like where to demarcate things is the challenge. Like, you know, that's just, I'm just asking you, because if you've done this with agents kind of structure, like what have you done in the past and what do you think is the best way to approach it?
Yeah, I would have you set up in their account with an email address, all that type of stuff. And like that would definitely be the scenario.
So the emails just look like they come from me and that I'm an employee. It looks like I'm an employee of their company, basically. Okay. And then, so like in the product description, like in one of the email pieces we've created, marketing pieces, you know, we have the verbiage like, you know, One Customer Plus has partnered with us to provide a CRM to our customers. I mean, that's fine to keep the demarcation that it's not their product per se, but you know, we're definitely involved in it together. So that part of it is fine. I'm assuming. Yeah.
I think that's good because then it gives a nice, clear, like kind of handoff point as to, okay, why is Glenn have this other brand and there's this communication from somebody else as well at some point.
Well, the difference is when I call, like they have 800 locations running their software. When I call and I go, I'm calling from, you know, their company. It's like, oh, okay, let me put you right through. But when I call from my company, it's like, who the hell are you? You know, make an appointment, get in line, right?
Yeah, get to leverage the relationship as your foot in the door.
Well, that was the whole point of the thing, right? To leverage relationship. Okay, so all right, so that makes sense. So I really just, because I was thinking about it today, I should just ask them, give me a damn email address. Just workspace and pay $5 for it. Great.
Yeah.
It'd be done. Good. Good. All right. I mean, that's it. That's all I wanted to ask you because I figured you've run across this thing before and I haven't. So
yeah, awesome.
Yeah. Good. Are you back? You're back, obviously back in San Diego.
Yeah.
Quick thing. Do you know what their plans are from the summit Are they going to stream any of that stuff? Are they going to do a separate presentation for us guys who didn't get out of the get over there to Dallas? Or do you know what they're doing?
I have no idea, honestly. I don't know what they're planning on doing with it. I mean, I've got to imagine. I mean, they have the whole film crew and everything there, though, so they'll be slicing and dicing stuff and using it somehow. I just don't know if it's like they're going to sell it like a, you know, pay $297 and get the whole thing, or if it's they're just going to start chopping it up and putting it up on their YouTube in bits and pieces. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Next year I'll be there.
Yeah.
I'll meet you next year. I'll meet you next year, Mike.
Sounds good.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, Glenn. Thank you. All right, let's see here. John says to me, the top of the postcard versus QR code also has a cool factor. Yeah, it's nice looking for sure. Awesome. Let's see here. What other questions? You guys have other questions? Type them in, or let me know if you want to come on board. Oh, Timothy says there's a $97 add-on to buy the recordings. Okay, so that's for people who attended. I wonder if that's publicly available too. Yeah. And man, of course, you know, high level, they did the feature dump on everything that they have, you know, either coming or it has already come out just as of the time of the event, or is coming like in the next week or whatever. And, you know, it's unbelievable. All the things that they're doing in there. Any other questions? Anybody have any other questions I can answer for you? Let me know. Let's see here. Does my client have to have professional email with their domain, or are they okay with a Gmail email? They should have a professional email with their domain. Yeah, look, I mean, and I would say this to any of you too, because I know that some of you are still doing this. If you are in business, you should not be using, you know, at Gmail, at Hotmail, at whatever for your email. Okay. It's just one of those things. Like you are, whether or not you think it's important, you got to understand that the rest of the world, there's enough people out there that will just judge you right on that first, right out of the gate. Oh, you're using a Gmail email or a Hotmail email. You are either not really a business, or you're some sort of scammer, or you're approaching me in some sort of scammy way so that you can't even use your real email. You know, like, you're going to get judged right away. It doesn't make any sense. You're just handicapping yourself. Oh, cool. Saw it on the site a moment ago. Awesome. Yeah. Sean's high level feature dump is the only video that I have to slow the speed down. Yeah, for sure. He was going crazy. Tim, no, I did not ever see your question. So here, I see it now. What do you recommend as the best way to manage Facebook ads to promote our own business? I am not an expert at Facebook Ads Manager. Tim, I recommend that you use my attention engine and relationship bridge retargeting strategies. So you have access to those. Oh, and you're saying via GHL at UpX, via Ad Espresso, or via Facebook Ads Manager. Business Manager. I would just personally use just Facebook Business Manager. That's what I do. That being said, I used Ad Espresso for years and I did really like it. I have not seen it in forever. My guess is it's probably a pretty darn good option. I have not played around with this at all. If there's anybody on the call that has wonderful things or anything to say about them, but the reason why I ended up going off of Ad Espresso, Tim, and for anybody who is listening at the time, when you want so much simplicity, which is what a tool like Ad Espresso or others can give you, right? Is they can make it very simple. It's like, oh, just do this, that, great, campaign launched. You are almost always, though, sacrificing manageability. Okay. Which means that you're going to have a harder time, like really dialing in some optimizations. Now, that being said, for you advertising your own agency services, I'm telling you right now that there's almost no optimization that you need to do. Okay. And this is why follow my attention engine, follow my relationship bridge strategies. Okay, my relationship bridge retargeting strategies. If you are not following those and you are trying to, I bought, Sam Ovens thing, and he said that Dan Henry or whatever, and they said that I have to run the perfect funnel that's going to ROI every time and yada yada. I think that that's wrong. Two, you are going to need to have the ability to really manage things. So using one of those simplification tools, I don't think is going to work for you. Okay. Now, the reason why do I say that it's wrong? Those guys' approach. I'm just saying, even Dan Henry's, he's going through his now, he's trying to relaunch, whatever latest version of himself. I don't have any problem with Dan Henry. If it sounds that way, I'm just giving the facts. He even shut down, his old, business where he was selling, through his proven funnel to yada, yada. It's not that the funnels don't necessarily work. It's just that you are being incredibly ROI driven, which means that in order to get that ROI, you have to get somebody who's ready to be in buying mode now. And if you are selling agency services to local businesses, particularly if you're selling them in a relatively small market or whatever, there's not that many businesses that are in ready buying mode now. And so demonstrating ROI from a single funnel now is not very easy. It's not very easy at all. Otherwise, you would see these perfect magic funnels actually, everywhere, right? So what is the alternative? The alternative is much more reality, which is that you should be using Facebook ads to promote good content. Could be webinars, could be blog posts, things like that, where you're educating your customers. You're doing that frequently. And then you are retargeting people that show some sort of interest with offers. And those two things are just running all the time so that people are continuously seeing your stuff. And as they move towards that position of being ready to buy, you're there. Okay. You always want to be there when that moment hits. So rather than having ads that every single day I have to be able to pull the ROI out, and if I can't see the ROI, I'm shutting down the campaign, that's a huge mistake. You want to have stuff that's just running constantly. You want to have a budget on it that you can afford to run constantly, and that will grow over time as you start getting more business, okay? But you want to put out good educational content all the time, which is easy. Write one blog post and you can just have that thing running for the next year. And then the next month you write one more blog post and have that thing running for the next year. You have them both running simultaneously, right? And you just keep stacking up the content, run a webinar, every other month, every quarter, whatever it is. And then everybody who's showing interest is getting retargeted so that you're always showing up. Okay. That is by far and away the easiest and long-term most effective, way to manage Facebook ads for success in this business. And it's the easiest. It takes no management whatsoever. Like, I used to spend so much time managing Facebook ads. I don't spend any time managing Facebook ads now. It's like once a month, I'll, stick my head in there, check on them, turn something on or off. That's it. Okay. So I hope that helps you, Timothy. Let's see here. Go Getters Clinic. Awesome. I'm a new agency. How do I overcome the trust issues when the moment comes for a prospect to make payment so we can start offering them the service? There's a couple of strategies in the very early days here. Okay. One is to go and do some free work for some people so you get some testimonials and just put an end date on it. So, hey, I would love to work for you. I'm going to do the first 60 days at no cost to you. And all I'm asking is if I do a good job, that I get a testimonial. And of course, if I do a good job, I'd love it if you plan on, staying with me as a paid customer, right? So get a couple of those. That way you have some case study stuff that you can, show. Another way that you can do this is you can offer some sort of, free trial for them, even if it's not like in exchange for, testimonial type of thing, but just, hey, it's 14 days to, get up and running. You can offer a more one-off service as the first service that you do with them. So that way there's no longer term commitment that they're signing up for on day one before they have a relationship with you. So, hey, for $497, we can launch your first, funnel, whatever it is. But that way it's just one-time payment. So again, the risk to them is much lower. And then, other than having proof from customers, the best way is to have proof that you know what you're doing by you doing what you say that they should be doing. Okay. Because, here's the painful reality when I look at many of the agencies' businesses is that you are not doing the things that you're telling other people to do. You are not marketing every day with educational content. You are not recording videos and posting them. You are not posting, 4 times a day on social media like you say they should be. You don't have funnels up on your site. Okay. If you are going to be selling that, you need to be doing that. You need to be the proof. You need to be, the service provider that can demonstrate we do all of these things, right? We eat our own dog food. So that creates a lot of trust, right? If they actually see you doing it and they can see, oh, look, they're good at this stuff, right? Because honestly, if you say that you're doing this for, other customers, that's, that's okay. Unless they're going to go and like interview those customers, it's oftentimes not as visible to them versus the way that you operate is that you're demonstrating the leadership that they want to see. And that creates a tremendous amount of trust. Okay. I hope that helps you and congrats on getting the business going. Let's see here. Hey, Mike, we've moved our agency to a more productized services and we're serving a very specific industry. So we niche down. Awesome. Can you still do Google ads and Facebook ads and still scale? What's your advice? Yeah, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. In fact, you should be able to do those more easily. So, obviously it needs to be a targetable audience, and not all audiences are targetable. And so if your audience is very, very small and very niche, it may be hard to target them on those platforms, but there's always a way to target them. Right. And so don't get locked into thinking, just this one platform, right? LinkedIn has an incredible ad platform and has a lot more detailed business to business targeting and position targeting as in like by titles inside of companies. And then, don't forget about things like direct mail, oh my gosh, direct mail. What are you talking about, Mike? That's not digital. That's not cool. Direct mail. When you have a smaller market, you can just laser focus your campaigns to them. It's awesome. It's incredibly effective. And then don't forget about things like sponsoring industry newsletters, trade show newsletters, things like that in that particular niche are great ways to target them as well. Okay. Tim says we're having some good initial success with content articles and Facebook ads around 15 cents a click. Do you have suggestions in LMLA for 10 to 15 cornerstone articles? You know what, Tim? I don't think that I have specific topics documented in there, but you and I can have a little chat offline and I can definitely share with you, the stuff that has worked and is working for us. But, what I'm doing more and more, Tim, is I'm just, because we publish so much content, as do you, I'm just publishing it, sharing it on social media. If it gets good response organically, then I just, then I run with it. Right. And that's how, I'm getting 4-cent clicks, 2-cent clicks, 3-cent clicks on that content. And I think it's because of that, right? I'm just putting it out there, looking to see the proof that people like it, and then I'm promoting it. For Facebook ads, attention engine, and what else? Yeah, so I have Relationship Bridge. It's a local retargeting. Is it local retargeting blueprint? I can't remember. I'll have to figure out the exact name for you. But if you want to just, send in a ticket to Help It Services at Scale, I'll be sure and get that to you. Okay. Or you can post it in one of the communities. Yeah, definitely, Tim. This is, Tom, this is Tom's, you can essentially replicate what he's replicating what Postcards are doing, but by getting an NFC sticker, putting it on his phone, and then people can just tap the phone to it. So you can do it that way as well. And that way he sends people straight to a Go High Level landing page, which that's all cool too. Tom's one of those guys that can figure out smart stuff like that. Welcome, Louise. Good to see you. Let's see here. You bet, Timothy. What's up, Charles and Linda? I had so much fun connecting with you guys in Dallas. That was a blast. Good to see you guys. Let's see here. Awesome. Very good. Booker, my man. I think I saw a message from you. I got to get back to it. Just started a new brand. I'm doing your 10K in 60 days challenge. Awesome. The low ticket offer you mentioned should be an info product. Does the core product have to be an info product as well? No, it does not. It does not. I love that you're doing it. I love it. I love it. The low ticket offer you mentioned should be an info product. Does the core product you have have to be an info product as well? No, it absolutely does not. I built that challenge around info products specifically, Michael, because, well, you know all the reasons. Super high margin, fast to get to market, fast to change if something's not right, all those good things. But it does not have to be. Nope. And nicely done. So here, hey, Mike, I'm getting ready to start under you. Awesome. Thank you, Terry. Can you let me know what would be the best way to get my first couple clients that I'm not paying for the $4.95 for too long? Terry, not knowing, your background, experience, any of that type of stuff. So it, I'll give you some general stuff. Okay. If I was starting today and I had absolutely no, connections to anybody that I could rely on, anything like that, right? What would I do? All right, let's give this a shot. First, I would come up with, my niche, my service, all that type of stuff, and at least build a basic but professional site where I could communicate who I am, what my value proposition is, and have a way for people to get in touch with me. Okay, to opt in and book a call or whatever. So I would make sure I have that set up and that it looks decent. It does not have to be over the top. Does not have to be. Let's hear. Awesome. I ran a SaaS company for 5 years, but not my own business. I have very little connections of my own. Okay, cool. So I would still do this. And if you can do a more professional site and get it done quickly, there's all the templates in high level, and I have templates for you, inside of my snapshots that you can use. So I just don't want you to get hung up on this. This should not be like 4 weeks from now I'm still launching my site. Okay. I would go through my agency sales funnel bootcamp, make sure that you've got that basic sales process set up. So what I mean by a basic sales process, you have a website, people can opt in, book a time on your calendar, and you have follow-up sequences to make sure that you're following up with those people. Okay. So I would have that launched. You can get that launched in the next week. Just load up the snapshots and commit to doing it. Okay. Let's see here. The next thing that I would do is I would be focused again on a specific vertical, and I would come up with the list of specific businesses that I would ideally like to do business with. You've heard the Dream 100, right? So the Dream 100 was a concept created by Chet Holmes that Russell Brunson has run with and made popular in his community as well. It's simple, right? Which is just come up with your list of Dream 100, customers that you want to work with. You can also include partners that could, be introduction, like channel partners for you that you may want to have on that list as well, that you're going to make sure that you're essentially doing an all out blitz to try and get in touch with them, get their attention, and make some progress with them on getting the business. And then I would have just as attractive a version of whatever your services that you're offering are. And when I say an attractive version of it, so we just talked about earlier with the member of the community here that's just starting their agency. You may need to do a first 30 days free, something like that to get something happening, right? Because you truly are starting from scratch. You don't have anything that you can point to say, hey, I have credibility to do this. So whatever that offer is that you're willing to do, so that you can get some good, experience and testimonials and start getting, paying customers, because again, whatever you're doing for free, you want to have an end date to that. Okay. So 30 days, after 30 days, 60 days, whatever it is, you become a paying customer. And then if you have any budget to run ads, I would create some ads targeting your audience and putting your value proposition out there that has an educational component to it, though. So not just an offer. I would put together some sort of, educational lead magnet type of thing and promote that with an ad. Okay. And then I would, since you're just starting from scratch and you're like, what are my best chances of getting something really fast? This is not my favorite way of growing your business these days. But I would just do cold outreach in every way that I can. I would ideally, but depending on where you are, you may not have this yet, and it may take a little bit longer than you want to build it up, but you should get started on it right away anyway. But social presence, right? So building up some sort of social profile, lots of activity every day on that social profile, because connecting with people on DMs, particularly on Instagram, is an awesome way to get in touch with businesses. So that is a really fantastic way to do that direct direct prospecting. And then email, cold calling. Like I said, those are not my favorite ways to do things anymore, but I did them for a long time. They are less effective now than they were, but they can still work to try and find somebody as quickly as possible, because you can just turn and burn through the phones, right? But again, ideally you can run some ads, you can build up your social profile, that type of thing, so that you're minimizing all of the real just cold direct prospecting. Okay. And let's see here. So Terry, I hope that helps you. The reality is, and I kind of hate this question. I'll just be real honest with you. Because, to get my first couple of clients, it's really just work your face off. I mean, that's the answer, is talk to everybody, let them know you're in business, do everything that you can to reach out to everybody that looks like a good targeted prospect, on that Dream 100 list. Again, just whatever it takes. And the only reason why I say I hate this question is because that's not the way that I want you to do things long-term. I want you to be more strategic about it, but in the short term, that's probably your best, most direct route. Okay. Tom Jan, question, where's the 10K in 60-day challenge? It's on my YouTube channel. If you go to my YouTube channel, look at my playlist, Tom, you'll see it there. Sarah says, I'm creating my signature system, but I'm getting stuck with my one-off services being higher than, for instance, my reputation package. Should I only have the signature system for a website? For sale on the website? Yeah, so I am a big fan of not putting everything up on your website. Yeah. So, you don't need to put your entire menu of possibilities on there. You don't want to overwhelm and confuse your prospect. So yes, I would just have like the, 3 whatever core packages up there. And then I would have in my back pocket, hey, here are the other things that I can offer. Okay. That you can pull out at any time where it's, appropriate based on the conversation you're having with that prospect. Okay. See, and then it says, sorry, I meant Facebook ads and Google ads for our clients. Oh. How would you productize these services? Got it. We don't want to do any more custom work. We have about 5 Facebook ad clients, but struggling with churn on scale. Okay. So going back to your original question though, Ilian, you said that you are now focused on a particular niche, right? What are your productized services? Yeah. Okay, cool. So yes. So this is the only way that I would offer ad services. Okay. Not as, okay. So the ideal way that I would do this is that because you're in one niche now, is that you set up your own landing pages and assets, essentially your own brand in that niche, and generate leads using Google ads and Facebook ads to those assets yourself. Okay. Rather than doing it directly for the customer in their ad accounts. Okay. So you're essentially turning yourself into a lead gen business, right? So if you look at, the home advisors and things like that, right? The Angies, the big lead generation businesses, they're driving leads to their properties and then selling those leads or passing those leads on to their customers. Okay. So that way you are, completely in control of everything, and you are running everything in your own accounts. You don't have to worry about what your customers think about the campaigns. You don't have to worry about, hey, I would optimize it this way or that way, because not scalable, not fun, totally annoying. All right. So that is the ideal way. And so what Tim's just saying, 100% agree with Mike on Facebook ad services. We only offer Facebook ad services using our local media account. And honestly, so I was going to say, you could do this, you could do that, but honestly, that's the only way I would do it. I just wouldn't do it any other way. So I hope that helps. And we're doing lead gen services, ad services. We're running our own lead gen ads. It's amazing, doing 4 demo calls a day, but how do you scale something like this and not let clients churn? We're doing lead gen ad services, running our own lead gen ads. It's amazing, doing 4 demo calls a day, but how do you scale something like this and not let clients churn? Not sure I understand completely here, but it sounds like, so then this is awesome. You understand how to run the ads. You run these to your own properties. Then you are much less concerned if somebody does churn because you're selling the lead. So the way I did this, I'll give you specific examples. Okay. So 2 ways. So one, I did this in chiropractic. So I set up my own chiropractic brand, my own chiropractic funnels, and I did that market by market. So, Denver, Colorado Springs, Boulder, Fort Collins, Loveland, all these different towns in Colorado, right? And then what I did is I contacted all the chiropractors in those towns and I said, I will offer you exclusive leads, and it's $1,000 a month or $1,500 a month or whatever it was, depending on the market. That gets you X leads, and then any leads on top of that are $35 a lead. Okay. So that's the way that I did it. Now it's exclusive leads. And so what I did was I pitched that exclusivity. It's like, hey, if you're not paying for these leads, then your competitor is going to be. Somebody in the market is going to be paying for these leads, right? So the fact that it's exclusive like that definitely creates retention. And you can just make it a part of your agreement that, hey, it's a minimum 6-month agreement or year agreement or whatever, if you want to do that. I have not felt the need to do that in the past, but you absolutely could. But the nice thing is, again, because you are generating leads to your own properties, if a customer churns, you just go to the next customer and just say, hey, I'm generating leads all day, every day in your market. Do you want them? Right? Like I've got chiropractic patients, knocking on my door. So, do you want these leads? So you just go right to the next one. That's the ideal situation. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see here. Got to run lead gen service, lead gen ads. Awesome. Very good. Have a backup plan. Seriously. But what do you mean by have a backup plan? Seriously? And I think I would be very careful about running everything out of your own account because Facebook shuts down accounts. And if all your customers are out of your account and you get hit, you're toast, back it all up. Yeah. Well, so I would suggest, one, you always follow Facebook's rules. So always be very careful to follow Facebook's rules. And yes, absolutely. If you can have multiple accounts just in case Facebook shuts stuff down, absolutely. But yeah, this is my point and Tim's point as well. If you run the ads as a media company, you should be fine, which is exactly it. Like we run our ads under our brand as our brand. It's not our customers' ads. It's not our customers' accounts. It's we are running ads to our own brand. And that keeps you out of a lot of, situations that Facebook doesn't like, right? Terry Chenoweth, success for me selling to locals to use Mike's suggestions with businesses where you are their customer. They will be a warmer lead and you can see where you can help them. Easy peasy. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, what you don't want to do though, Elian, back to Matt Coffey's point, is you do not want to run your ads as your brand, but then or run your ads out of your account, but then you're like pretending to be your customer's brand. If you're going to do that, that's trouble. If you're going to run ads for your customers, then they should have a Facebook ad account. You should have the management system set up properly inside of Facebook Ad Manager so that then you can manage their account through your account, do all that stuff by the book. Okay. If you are running ads to your own stuff, it should be your own brand, your own follow-up, all that type of stuff, right? So just like if you go to Home Advisor and you're getting a lead you're opting into something from Home Advisor, it's a Home Advisor lead, it's a Home Advisor page, it's a Home Advisor follow-up process. But then Home Advisor tells you, hey, you're gonna get bombarded by 6,000 of whatever you just opted in for, because we're gonna give them your phone number. But that's why I like the exclusive model. It's a much better customer experience all around. Sarah says, I keep getting drawn to the SaaS part of my services. It's hard to not start talking about everything they get when they sign on. Yeah, Sarah, that is tempting. And I would say you are by far not the only one in the industry who is tempted to go down the whole, features thing. It's just a proven thing in sales that the more you go down the rabbit hole of all the features, the less effective you're going to be at selling. So you want to try and dumb up, keep it kind of stupid, keep it focused on what's the major value proposition. We're going to, achieve these things for you. And how are we going to achieve these things for you? Through our proprietary system and assets, right? Which include, but not getting too into the weeds of what that is, for sure. Elena says, makes sense. When the lead is generated, would you tell the lead who will be contacting them? And do you disclose the leads to the leads at your directory? Yeah, absolutely. You've got to have on your page, in your terms of service, in the privacy policy, all that type of stuff, clearly what is happening, or else you're going to get in big trouble with Facebook, with Google, everybody. Okay. Mike, did your youngster enjoy her retreat, or was she traumatized by the experience? Oh no, she loved it. Yeah. No, she loved it. Don's referring to my daughter went to 6th grade camp recently for a week up in the mountains with all of her classmates from school. She had an absolute blast up there. There were, unfortunately, some kids. I mean, you get that many kids going away for a week, a lot of them for the first time, a lot of them camping, and doing outdoors stuff for the first time. You're going to have a lot of kids that, don't have a great experience, unfortunately, but she loved it. She was bouncing off the walls with excitement about the whole thing. So, yeah, you got to be careful. You got to follow all of Facebook's rules for sure, and Google's rules. If you're going to be advertising on their platform, follow their rules. Believe me, I got slapped so many times by Facebook. Some because I wasn't following their rules, because I bought into somebody else's cool trick on, hack on how you can, get around their rules. That's all nonsense. Never do that stuff. I also got slapped just because Facebook was a terrible service company at previous points. And I got accounts shut down for months and months and months with absolutely no support. I was just telling somebody this when I was at Level Up Summit. I was running up to $15,000 a day on Facebook for my e-commerce business and could not talk to a human being. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine if you had a customer? I want you to envision this right now. You have a customer spending $15,000 a day with you every single day, or let's just say on average, $7,000 a day with you, every single day, 365. Okay. And you wouldn't allow them to talk to you. and your product is 100% gross margins and you won't let them talk to you. Can you imagine that? That was the situation I was in. I got my account shut down, could not talk to a human being, could not get a response for months and months and months. And then finally got a message, oops, that was a mistake. We'll turn you back on. They are not a good service organization. That is true. Yeah. Yep. Awesome. I have to run, everybody, because I got another call here in 3 minutes. Thank you so much for being a part of the community. Thank you for your time and attention and business as always. Thanks for coming to office hours calls. I always enjoy these sessions. Lots of good questions and fun interacting with you guys. We have them every other week. So please make sure you get them on your calendar, and I will see you on the next one. And if you have any questions in between now and then, please ask them in our Facebook group or in our private customer community on Circle. And I will do my very best to get back to you as quickly as possible, or one of the other fabulous members in our community will answer your question for you before I get a chance to. Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Tim, Matt, Go Getter, John, Alex. Awesome. Everybody have a great weekend. Happy Halloween if you're celebrating that, and we will see you on our next call. All right. Thank you very much, everyone. Take care.